Previously, I have covered the creaming part, sedimentation part, that means the upward creaming, creaming, upward creaming, then downward creaming, and flocculation, coalescence. The rest of part is the phase inversion. Phase inversion is a process in which oil in water emulsion changes to water in oil type emulsion, or water in oil type emulsion into oil in water type emulsion. So this involves the changes of emulsion type from O by W to W by O or vice versa. When we intend to prepare one type of emulsion, say oil in water, and if the final emulsion turns out to be W by O, that means water in oil, it can be termed as a sign of instability. Phase inversion means a change of emulsion type from one phase to another phase. That means one type emulsion to another type emulsion. This technique is used to prepare stable and fine emulsions. So phase inversion can be obtained by two ways. One is changing the chemical nature of emulsifier. For instance, an oil in water emulsion is prepared using sodium stearate. Then calcium chloride is added to form calcium stearate, which is oil soluble. Therefore, oil phase become the continuous phase, and W by O emulsion is produced. Example example is white liniment. So first one is changing the chemical nature of emulsifier. By changing the chemical nature of emulsifier, the phase inversion can be obtained. And second thing is uh, which uh, which is altering the phase volume ratio. So by altering the chain phase volume ratio, we can obtain the phase inversion. In this method, O by W type emulsifier is mixed with an oil, and then a small amount of water is added. Since the volume of water is small compared to the oil, W by O emulsion will be formed. As more water is added slowly, the inversion point is gradually reached, and the water as well as emulsifier envelop the oil to small globules, yielding an oil in water type emulsion. If the method is not properly controlled, phase inversion can give a bad emulsion, which can causes the considerable difficulty in manufacture. There are some factors which improve the physical stability. They are particle size distribution, viscosity, phase volume ratio, charge of electrical double layer, physical properties of interface, densities of phase, temperature fluctuation, poor experimental techniques. So in case of particle size, as the globule size is reduced to fine state of subdivision, they tend to exhibit Brownian movement. In general, the rate of creaming decreases fourfold, fourfold when the globule diameter is halved. In microemulsions, the rate of creaming is insignificant. It is necessary to choose optimum globule size for maximum stability. So come to this point, particle size distribution. In general, globules of uniform size impart maximum stability. In such emulsions, globules packed loosely and globule to globule contact is less. However, it is difficult to achieve monodisperse system due to a variety of factors such as viscosity, phase volume ratio, densities of phases, etc. Now, the viscosity. As the viscosity increases, the flocculation of globules will be reduced because the mobility of globules is restricted. Various thickening agents such as tragacanth, vigum, cellulose derivatives are employed to formulate emulsions for internal use. That means O by W type emulsion, long chain fatty acids and Alcohols such as beeswax, stearic acid, stearic alcohol, etc. are also used when oil is in continuous phase and in an emulsion for external use. Viscosity determination is also an important quality control tool for product evaluation. Now, phase volume ratio. In an emulsion, the relative volume of water and oil is expressed as phase volume ratio. In general, most medicinal emulsions are prepared with volume ratio of 50 is to 50. This proportion brings about loose packing of globules. Next is charge of electrical double layer. When ionic type of emulsifier is employed, the electrical double layer poses the charges. The repulsive forces due to like charges on the surface of globules prevent the flocculation of globules. Next is physical properties of interface. The interfacial film of the emulsifier is responsible for enhancing the stability of the product. So, the film should be elastic enough to form rapidly as soon as the droplets are produced. Next is densities. It is not an usual practice to adjust the density of the phases to the same value. Oil phase density can be enhanced by adding brominated oil when oil is an external phase. Then next important thing is or important parameter is temperature fluctuation. Elevated temperatures alters the partition characteristics of emulsifier and preservatives. The net result is obvious, so instability. The chemical instability temperatures in temperature also enhance the chemical degradation of drugs and other ingredients. So chemical instability also leads to physical instability. At higher temperature, the external phase water may evaporate, making the product more concentrated. And the lower temperature, aqueous phase may contain ice crystal which rupture the interfacial film and break the emulsion. So care should be taken to prevent the temperature fluctuation during the manufacture and storage. Then poor experimental techniques. This often leads to incomplete emulsification. Hence, the conditions, including the sequence of steps, should be meticulously followed during manufacture. Besides factors mentioned above, it is also important to prevent the growth of microorganisms. So, stability of emulsions is done.